Hey guys, real quick video. I'm going to try and squeeze in here. I'm just noticing something here on Bitcoin. I thought maybe I should go ahead and highlight a couple things. Taking a look at the chart here, you know, as I've been talking about, we have the support zone. There's a lot of stuff going on. We don't know what's going to happen with Ukraine and Russia. Biden coming out all of a sudden really not liking Bitcoin and saying that this is a threat to our economy, and who knows if this is all talk or not. I don't know what to think about that. We can speculate on those things, but I'm not sure what to think about it. But in the short term, there's a lot of negative things going against us. So keep that in the back of your mind as I show you this. But setting that stuff aside somewhat, let's just take a look at kind of what's been happening here. So if we measure some of these tops to these bottoms, notice there. This obviously was a very quick candle. This came right back up. This is a daily chart, but realistically, you can see where it kind of bottomed out here in the next green lines. It's around 20%, right? And then what happened? You had this quick buy up, sold back off, quick buy up, sold back off, right? I highlighted some zones here in white, or that's its version of white, I guess. And if we do the same thing in this zone, right, what happened here? Oops, it's the wrong zone there. Let's start right about here, around 20%. Same thing here. Let's start right there, go down around 22%. And it makes me wonder, what is the rate of climb, let's say, that we have each time. So let's look here. We have somewhere around 14%. Let's check out this section here. It came down, bottom somewhere around here, around 12, 13%. And let's see where we're at now. We can start, let's do two places on this candle. 17%, we're starting to get a red candle. Let's take it up a little bit more to this zone right here between these two. Let's say an average right there. That's about that same 12%. So it makes me wonder if, now in the short term, if we're about to see that sell-off continue, which would be realistic anyway. Our support zone's down here anyway. So if we just repeat some of this, like this section here, right? If we just repeat this thing, delete that line, let's drag this over, right? If we just repeat that, we're right down near our support zone. So I think it is very realistic to see Bitcoin down to around that 30,000 zone. And look at the size of this. It's very similar, right? This was a little bit longer, but this is actually a realistic date that you might see that. Sometime mid-February or so, you can see Bitcoin down to that range. Of course, it could be much, much quicker. It could be like this shoulder that didn't really build up here. But I think it's highly likely we're going to see Bitcoin down to that level. There's a lot of psychology going on in the market here. It could drive it up higher, but I think it's more likely than not. It's hard to throw a percentage on this, right? I could say whatever I want, really. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. But I think it's likely we're going to see this. I know I went from highly likely to whatever, but you get the point. I think we're probably heading down to this zone. I'm tempted to be buying in this zone, even other cryptos following those percentages, right? To be buying down in this zone. Now, I don't know that it's going to hold, right? Remember, I still have my yellow boxes for different buy zones. This would end right around my buy zone, right? So I'd want to be dollar cost averaging in here, because I don't know, we may bounce here and continue to go up, and that would tell me we're setting in some really solid support. We have three major areas coming down here into the support zone. So that would tell me, this thing goes running back up. Even if it's up here, I might be buying. I want to see us clear this point here at 38,000 first, before I would come jumping in. Realistically, I might even want to wait till I pop this part. But if I get this buy-in, I'd be happy with that. But if we continue to fall from there, right, I still have dry powder. I would continue to buy down in this zone, and that would just be, amazing buying opportunity. I'd be dumping everything I can from this zone all the way down in the 12,000 where the next zone of support is. The RSI is more in support that maybe we have set that bottom in, but if you use your yellow line here, which gives you, a less choppy version of kind of what's going on in the market, eh, it could be that Bitcoin sells off a little bit more, and this line just happens to break down here. Right? You can't always, just go by the purple. That's why you're trying to use different indicators to figure this out. But then again, rarely do you see that yellow break down under this point, right? I mean, the only other time that happened, we were at a whole different time period, right? So this was when we're coming to the end of our bear market, and we're about to start the phase of the bull market here after 2018. So I don't know. I think we're going to see this 30,000 level. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but we're here to trade these things and be ready for each move. So I got to be realistic. I would be looking at buying in here. I'd be looking at some of these other ones. Sometimes they get beat up a lot more on the way down. I wouldn't really look much into NDX, but it just happens to be one I have on here right now. Um, I think we're going to be at this level. So I got my dry powder ready. Of course, like I said, I have them in some of the other areas as buying zones right now, hoping I can catch one. Maybe overnight, looking for one of those long wicks down in the middle of the night where I happen to be the buy order on that. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this video is about 7 minutes, so I want to get it out there real quick. Um, See what's going to happen Monday with the stock market. There's a lot of negative news out there, so that could also drag this down too. So a lot of things kind of going against the crypto world. It's going to be interesting next week.